welcome to MsMojo. And today we're breaking down the career of your favorite artist's favorite artist.
You look fantastic. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for letting me borrow this outfit.
No problem. I just give it back for the weekend. I need it for the weekend.
School nights.
I was so like scared and just like so reserved, and I just wanted to do everything right all the time and not ruffle any feathers.
When Chappell refers to herself as a Midwest princess, she's not kidding. Born just outside of Springfield, Missouri in February 1998, the artist-born Kaylee Rose Amstutz was a regular churchgoer who harbored ambitions that exceeded what her small town could offer.
I love where I came from because I have an incredible perspective on the Midwest, which I think a lot of people on the coasts kind of, put all Midwesterners in one type of category.
She first tapped into this as a teenager when she felt compelled to, quote, write the greatest love song of all time for a crush. Kaylee's family sent her to music camps in the summer.
Yeah, I think people just think everyone in the Midwest agrees with like a far-right viewpoint, and it's just not true.
Speaking to Vanity Fair in 2023, she mused that those camps were where she, quote, learned how to write songs, and for the first time, was around, quote, people who were passionate about writing poems and being emotional. I just didn't have that growing up. I had friends in theater, but the writing was different.
Whenever I was 15, 16, it was a perfect time to be a teenager on YouTube because everything was happening. Harlem Shake, high school lip dubs, what does the fox say?
Going to church camp, though, Roan has definitively described the experience as, quote, not it. Die young.
I thought music was going to be a gateway into acting. I was like, this will get my foot in the door. That's what this whole thing was supposed to be.
While attending a music summer program at the Interlochen Center for the Arts, Roan, then going by the stage name Kaylee Rose, wrote Die Young, which she uploaded to YouTube in November 2014. The song, as well as Roan's other YouTube uploads, impressed record label execs at Atlantic. A few short months after the release of Die Young, she had a record deal. At this point, Roan was convinced she was on top of the world. Speaking to The Guardian, she revealed that, aged 17, she, quote, thought she was gonna win a Grammy.
This industry, like, you really flourish if you don't protect yourself.
You flourish if you don't protect yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It was around this time that she adopted her now iconic stage name, a portmanteau of her late grandfather's surname and the Strawberry Roan by Curly Fletcher, which she has said was Dennis Chappell's favorite song.
Chappell Roan is my drag project, and I think that's also helped personally to separate it as a job and as like a project, and then there's me as Kaylee.
Good Hurt.
I just started doing themes because I love dressing up. I want any excuse to dress up.
It goes without saying that Roan is beloved for her campy, wildly over-the-top visuals, an aesthetic that spreads to every aspect of her performance style. However, the original Chappell Roan, while still poppy, was dark, moody, and atmospheric.
That's why I changed so hard to pop, 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 because it was so boring performing sad songs.
This is evidenced by the sound of the 2017 single Good Hurt, released while Roan was still signed to Atlantic. Far from an exuberant queer anthem, Good Hurt is much more reminiscent of dark pop artists like Lorde or Banks than what we now know her sound to be. The following month, Roan released School Nights, her debut EP, and toured with Vance Joy later in the year.
I mean, I feel kind of like I made it already whenever I was like, oh my God, people showed up to my concert like a few years ago. I was like, people came?
Despite these achievements, as well as warm critical notices, a significant setback was on the horizon. Pink Pony Club.
I just wanted to make something that I could party to and other people could party to,
Yeah.
and something that like I would never be sad or bored performing.
Roan moved to Los Angeles where, for the next few years, she made moves to further her career. It wasn't exactly the dream life she'd envisioned.
It's not like my parents knew. My mom's a veterinarian. My dad's retired from the Navy. It's not like we knew anything about the show business in Willard, Missouri.
Looking back on this period of her life, Roan described the overwhelming isolation she felt, despite being able to truly embrace her queerness for the first time since moving out of Missouri. Quote, "You can't do anything in LA or anywhere if you're under 21, because everyone just goes out and I was so sad." 2020 seemed to get off on a promising start, with Roan beginning a creative partnership with Dan Nigro, who would soon score a massive hit with Olivia Rodrigo's Driver's License.
Guess you didn't mean what you wrote in that song about me.
Together, Roan and Nigro wrote Pink Pony Club, one of the first indications of what was to come creatively. While things were looking up, they didn't stay that way for long. In August 2020, Atlantic dropped Roan due to her relative lack of mainstream success. Essentially, she was right back where she'd started in 2017.
I've been doing this for a decade.
Yeah.
I've been through like a major label deal already and dropped, and then another major label deal. So I think if this were to happen when I was hoping it would happen when I was like 17, I wouldn't be able to enjoy it.
Naked in Manhattan.
What was going on with your life here?
I had no money and I was working at a donut shop and I was performing at this weird gay festival, Love.
Getting dropped by Atlantic was devastating, personally and professionally, to Roan. It was at this point that she returned to Missouri to reassess things.
You know I hate to say, but I tell you so.
In a 2024 Paper magazine interview with Trixie Mattel, she recalled, quote, "I had moved back in with my parents during the pandemic because I couldn't get a job in LA. And I was like, I have to give this a shot, one more year."
My relationship ended with my label like a lot of artists ended their relationships in 2020. You just get dropped if you're not making money in 2020. Like, music industry crashed.
With Nigro's attention diverted after Driver's License blew up, she returned to her roots. Quote, "I was working at a donut shop. No money. That's what I was doing. My kink is karma, Naked in Manhattan. It was all with my friends and for free."
I didn't like actually start making money where I could afford my rent until like the past couple, maybe like a year.
While using her phone's notes app to write the songs that would eventually appear on the rise and fall of a Midwest princess, Roan plotted her return to Los Angeles. Femininomenon.
Also, I'm gonna be a drag queen, and also I'm gonna say the raunchiest lyrics you've ever heard. My grandmas like maybe aren't like stoked on that part, but they like when I dress up.
Roan landed back in LA in October 2020. The Washington Post notes that, while making music independently, quote, "she would sell out shows without label support, sewing her own over-the-top clothes and learning to do drag for sets bursting with energy and call and response choruses."
Playboy, Bridget Bardot, she showed me things I didn't know.
After a year of working part-time jobs on the side, she signed with Sony Music, and shortly thereafter, collaborated with a newly free Nigro to release the aforementioned Naked in Manhattan, as well as a string of other singles, including My Kink is Karma, Femininomenon, and Casual.
Touch me, baby. Touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me. Touch me, baby. Naked in Manhattan.
At the same time, she was establishing her quirky, idiosyncratic TikTok presence. Juggling all of the above was no cakewalk. Roan recalled that it felt like, quote, hell most of the time trying to get it together as an independent artist and also having a part-time job. As if that wasn't enough, Roan was diagnosed with bipolar II disorder at around the same time.
When you're bipolar and severely depressed, there's so many lies that depression tells you. So,
Yeah.
but so many kids are depressed.
Yeah.
You know.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Good luck, babe.
Yes.
Opening for Olivia Rodrigo at some of these gigantic stadiums around the country. Are you prepared for that?
You know what? It's gonna be fine. That's all I'm saying in my head over and over again.
Throughout 2023, Roan released 3 more singles from the then forthcoming Midwest Princess album: Kaleidoscope, Red Wine Supernova, and Hot to Go. Although it was critically acclaimed, with the AV Club, Time, and Nylon all ranking it within their top 10 albums released in 2023, it failed to chart on the Billboard 200. This changed drastically in early 2024 when she opened for Olivia Rodrigo on the Guts World Tour, and most crucially of all, once she released her breakthrough single, Good Luck Babe. The rousing, unabashedly queer synth-pop belter was streamed over 7 million times in the week of its release.
It's been on the Hot 100 for 10 weeks and has almost 200 million streams on Spotify. In just a few months, you went from 2 million to 21 million monthly Spotify listeners.
Following a Coachella set a few weeks later, Roan had been cemented as a contemporary pop icon, with Midwest Princess now having sold over 400,000 units. Already a queer icon for the ages, this princess is almost more akin to a phoenix, rising from the ashes in a fiery red blaze. She's since spoken about struggling with her sudden rise to fame. However, she's also talked about the incredible support that she's received from other women in the industry. With her undeniable talent and already dedicated community of fans, Chappell Roan's journey is just beginning.
Here's you last week or 2 weeks ago at the Governor's Ball. This is the crowd here. So look at you. Come on.
What's your favorite Chappell Roan song? Let us know in the comments.
We've got Casual, we've got Super Graphic Ultra Modern Girl, which is one of my songs, and it's like alien girly.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.